Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Optimize with Sanjai, where we dive deep into real-world database architecture, performance tuning, and cloud data engineering. Today's topic is super important for every Oracle DBA, architect, or cloud engineer out there. We're talking about the real differences between Oracle Data Guard on AWS RDS versus on-premises setups, especially from a high-availability, HA, point of view. If you're planning migrations, designing DR, or just want to know how much control AWS gives you with Oracle, this is the video for you. I am going to speak about the on-premises Oracle Data Guard architecture. Let's begin with what most senior DBAs are familiar with: Oracle Data Guard in an on-premises environment. In an on-premises setup, you own both the infrastructure and the database stack. This gives you full control, from redo transport and apply services to log shipping, switchover, failover logic, and how or when to initiate disaster recovery, DR operations. You also have access to everything: listener.aura, tnsnames.aura, archived logs, flashback configurations, and your own custom automation scripts. But with that level of control comes full operational responsibility. Here are some commonly used SQL examples. Create a standby database from an active primary. Duplicate target database for standby from active database. Configure redo log transport to the standby. Alter system set. Log archive dest2 equal to service equal to standby. LGWR async valid for equal to online log files primary role. DB unique name equal to standby. Start redo apply on the standby. Alter database recover. Managed standby database disconnect from session. Perform a switchover operation. On the primary, alter database commit to switchover to standby. On the standby, alter database commit to switchover to primary. Monitor current role and switchover readiness. Select database. Role, switchover, status, protection mode from $$ database. Note: you can build intelligent scripts on top of these SQLs for monitoring and automated operations, especially in Data Guard Broker or shell-based control systems. But again, you're in full control of failover testing, RPO, recovery point objective, RTO, recovery time objective, targets, and flashback configurations. Now I am going to speak about the AWS RDS Oracle with Managed Data Guard, Multi-AZ. Now let's switch gears and talk about AWS RDS for Oracle with Multi-AZ enabled. Behind the scenes, AWS actually uses Oracle Data Guard, but the key difference is it's fully managed for you. You won't see the standby database. You don't configure archive destinations or set up recovery. AWS handles all of that for you. Here's how the architecture works. The primary instance runs in one availability zone, say US East 1A, and AWS automatically deploys a standby in another AZ, like US East 1B. Redo transport is synchronous, and failover is automatic, handled entirely by AWS. Let me show you a few CLI examples to work with this setup. Enable Multi-AZ, creates synchronous standby behind the scenes. AWS RDS modify DB instance A, DB instance identifier MyDB A, Multi-AZ manually trigger a failover for testing or planned maintenance. AWS RDS failover DB cluster A, DB cluster identifier MyDB cluster check which AZ your DB is running in. AWS RDS describe DB instances. A, query DB instances. DB instance identifier AZ, availability zone, Multi-AZ, Multi-AZ. Now, unlike on-prem, you don't manage redo logs, brokers, or recovery configs, and you can't query the standby directly. But the benefits? You get built-in high availability, automatic failover with zero data loss, and deep integration with CloudWatch metrics like replica lag, disk queue depth, and CPU utilization, giving you great visibility into performance. Now, let's walk through an architectural comparison summary between on-premises Oracle Data Guard and AWS RDS Multi-AZ, especially from a high-availability HA perspective. We'll go feature by feature to see how both setups handle core HA operations. Feature, Redo Transport. On-premises, you configure Redo Transport manually, choosing between LGWR, ASYNC, or sync depending on your HA goals. AWS RDS, multi-AZ. Redo Transport is fully automated and always synchronous. You don't need to configure anything. Feature, Apply Services. On-premises, Apply is manually controlled. AWS RDS multi-AZ, Apply is fully managed by AWS. Feature, Failover. On-premises, Failover is manual or managed via DataGuard broker based on your configuration. AWS RDS multi-AZ. Failover can be triggered manually via CLI or handled automatically by AWS during failures. Feature, Access to Standby Database. On-premises, yes, you have full access to the standby for read-only queries, logs, or diagnostics. AWS RDS, multi-AZ, no. The standby is hidden from users. You don't have access. Feature, Flashback Database. On-premises, yes. Flashback can be enabled and used for point-in-time recovery. AWS RDS, multi-AZ, no. Flashback Database is not supported in this setup. Feature, Custom Monitoring. On-premises, yes. You can build custom dashboards, scripts, and alerts tailored to your environment. AWS RDS, multi-AZ, limited to what CloudWatch offers, powerful but not as flexible as full access. Feature, Auto Recovery. On-premises, no. Recovery is manual unless you've set up automation or are using the broker. AWS RDS, multi-AZ, yes. Auto Recovery is built in. AWS handles it without user intervention. So to summarize, on-premises gives you deep control, flexibility, and access, but with that comes full operational responsibility. AWS RDS multi-AZ simplifies everything with automation and built-in HA, ideal if you want less hands-on management with enterprise-grade reliability. Resources and wrap-up. I've put all the SQL commands, AWS CLI scripts, and the comparison table from this video down in the description. So be sure to check it out if you're planning a migration or designing a hybrid HA setup. If you found this breakdown helpful, do me a quick favor, hit that like button, subscribe to stay in the loop for more deep dives on PostgreSQL and Oracle, and drop me a comment below. Are you using AWS RDS for Oracle or still running DataGuard on-premises? I'd love to hear how you're managing your HA strategy. Outro. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Sanjai, and I'll see you in the next episode of Optimize with Sanjai, where we build better, faster, and smarter data architectures together.